Greetings, everyone. All right. Before I get into the next Chinese lesson, I want to just address a couple things for a few people who commented on the last Chinese video that I made. They particularly asked about the pronunciation and tones. They wanted some advice on how they can go about, getting that stuff down. Now, they have a lot of resources out there for Chinese, and they have a guide. A lot of those resources, there's a guide in the beginning, and they show you how to enunciate the words XI, CH, QI, and all those. You can find a lot of those. Many of those courses are out there. But if you want to, there's an easy way, a more natural way. And this will apply both to the tones and the pronunciation. What you want to do is find something with a dialogue, a course that have a course that has a dialogue like this. It's ICML course. It doesn't have to be ICML. It can be any course, but as long as the course has a dialogue that you can listen to and follow along with. You know what? Actually, I probably will recommend ICML because they start off slow. You want to get a course like that and follow along. Like, we're talking about Chinese, so we'll talk about that. I'll say up for once you do at least 10 lessons. I say after doing at least 10 lessons of that, going through listening to the dialogue, following along, paying close attention to the pinyin when they pronounce the words. I think by the 10th lesson, you will have gotten used to a lot of the pronunciation of words, and you will be able to recognize tones that are used with a lot of words. Tones will take a little bit longer, but you'll start to feel it coming. You'll start to feel the rhythm. You'll start to feel that, okay, I know that this word has this tone. You'll start to hear it. I'll say about 10 lessons. But pronunciation, I think you will be able to get that faster than the tones, because they don't have very many letters in Chinese that you have to get used to. The only thing that's tricky, and I say do it this way, because when you follow a guide, you're gonna mix up certain words such as like CI, XI, CHI, for example. Like XI will be pronounced as she in Chinese, but CHI will be pronounced as ch, and then you have CI will be pronounced as ts. You see, it changes depending on the consonant before that vowel. So I think if you can follow along a dialogue where you're able to hear all the pronunciation of the words, I think that will be more natural, and it will be more easy, and it will prevent a lot of confusion. Okay, and then once you get real comfortable, you start really recognizing everything. Then you can go to a guide and go through that guide and say, oh, okay, so okay, I see why it's enunciated like this. I see, it makes a lot of sense. So that's just a quicker way to avoid confusion, and just a more natural approach. But I'm not saying that you can't use that approach where you can kind of look at them and break it down and say, okay, CI is pronounced like this, XI is pronounced like that. You can do that. I mean, it's possible to learn that way, but I want to put out some other options out there for because everybody is different. Not everyone learns the same. So some people will be more comfortable with the more natural approach, and then some people want to take the time out and go through these different ways, the spellings and how they're pronounced. So like I said, I will recommend something like ICML. Okay. And any course would do, but I say ICML because they, like, particularly because I have the Chinese as well. I have the Chinese, and I believe that's do I have? Oh, I have the French version. I think it's right here. I have the French version of it, but they have the English version. and they start off really slow. The dialogues are very short, and they read it like very clear. So look into doing something like that. Otherwise, if you wanted to take the other approach where you just look at the guide, you can do that. When I started learning Chinese, I went with the guide. This is before I had any idea of what I needed to do. I didn't have a plan. You know, I just started. I just say, okay, I'm gonna use this book, and I'm gonna go with the guide. It has some audio with it as well, but the main thing was a guide. The book, I can't even remember the name of the book, but at the bottom they had the guide there. They had C. It was like something like CI and XI. Then they had C with an equal sign. It's pronounced as TS. And X pronounced as should. They had SH like that. That's how I learned. So that's just some advice. Just answer some questions for those who commented on the last video. But this next lesson, like I told you guys before, this is going to be basically, I'm starting off slow with the personal pronouns. Last week we did the war, the I, and I gave you guys some examples. So I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to be a different personal pronoun. I'm going to do that for pretty much every week. Okay, it's going to be a slow lesson, but I'm going to start off because there are a lot of people who haven't even started Chinese yet, and they just, you know, they're curious and they want to get started. So that is it, and let me know if you guys have any other questions. If you guys, I will do this. If you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, I'll make a video like this and answer them before I make the next lesson. So that is it. Thanks for viewing, and you guys take care.